it's easy to load up on carbs and skip the protein at breakfast, but it's actually super duper important to make sure your first meal of the day is protein packed. Registered dietitian Andrea Holwegner here to talk about how to bump up your protein first thing in the morning and when to do it. How soon after eating should we eat? Like, is breakfast break the fast, or should we go hours, or what do you think?
There's a lot of opinions on this.
There really is.
But I would say if we're trying to maximize energy, we're trying to maximize mental health, give us some get up and go energy. In a best case scenario, I would say breakfast within about an hour of waking is really going to do the job to get the brain and the central nervous system fueled for school and work days.
Okay, and it's not that hard to just focus to adding some protein. Like, can we talk about this banana sushi?
I know.
Like, I will eat a banana. I love bananas. But you've done just a couple of different things that are making that a whole different ballgame.
You know, and I think as a mom of a 13-year-old, I'm always trying to get protein into him. So we've got the banana sushi is rolled in what I call yo-nut dip. And yo-nut dip pretty much has Greek yogurt and any kind of a seed or nut butter. So almond butter, peanut butter, nut-free butter, whatever you got. And then I've just rolled it in some cereal and then sprinkled a little hemp hearts on there because hemp hearts are fantastic for protein.
So you have talked hemp hearts before, and that is a great way to just throw some of that on there. I'm looking at this, I'm like, French toast, I love it. And then you're like, yes, and you make it with eggs, of course, you've got protein, and put some of your Yona dip on it.
You could put that on there.
Extra protein.
But my idea for the French toast is make like a whole loaf of it on the weekend. Nobody has time for this on a weekday, at least most of us. And super saturate it in lots of egg if you've got a family member that isn't like as awesome about protein, which is the case for my son. And then these are in the freezer, and then he can just pop them into the microwave. And we've got a pretty good protein-rich breakfast. And if you're strapped for time, just take a banana and spread the Yona dip on it really quick, or on the French toast. It doesn't even have to be fancy.
So have some of that set aside.
You bet.
As well. You're not making that every time.
The other thing I wanted to talk about is a latte, or a tea latte, or a steamed milk. Wonderful for protein. So 1 cup of milk has 9 grams of protein, and that's only about this much. So a tall cup like this, we're probably talking, I don't know, 12, 15 grams of protein in here.
Okay, so don't discount that.
Don't discount what your potential latte might have to add some protein into your morning.
When you said to me PB&J overnight oats, I was like,
I know.
But really?
I know, it's so delicious. So you take your rolled oats, you put some milk in there. If you want to jack up more protein, put some protein powder in there, or some Greek yogurt or skyr yogurt. Really great for adding additional protein. And then along the side, you just kind of like smear up a little bit of peanut butter in 3 corners, and then you put a little bit of jam in, again, the 3 corners. Top it with your berries in the morning. I put a little bit of sprinkled nuts. Again, you could make up like 10 of these in the morning. Or on the weekend, having them ready to go.
So everybody can just grab one during the day. And you can, I love these containers because you put the mason jars, you put a little lid on it, it's in your lunch kit, and away you go. Beans, cheese, eggs.
Yes, so this is another make ahead breakfast idea. You could do it for a brunch, you could do it for dinner even, but it's a black bean hash brown egg bake. And so recipe on my blog.
Black bean thing?
I know.
You got me onto black beans last month when you came in and you were making the beer batter black bean. And I'm like, this is unbelievably good. So you brought the black beans back again.
You bet. So recipe is up on the blog. It's healthstandnutrition.com if you want to download all the ideas, including this recipe. You're going to need 3 cups of hash browns, a cup of corn, 8 eggs, 1.25 cups of milk, a whole bag of cheese, a can of black beans, and a can of roasted red peppers. This is a very convenient, great way to add in a little bit extra veggie and a really great sweet flavor.
And the pre-roasted just taste a little bit different than the fresh red peppers. It's got a bit more of a smoky. Like, I think this looks great for dinner.
Cut it into squares. Again, it will freeze, so you could do a bunch of these. You could make a double, triple batch, cut them all in, put them in the freezer, and they're ready to go for protein-packed breakfast.
So it's just really refocusing things in our mind. It's a pivot in the way that we look at breakfast and the cereal and milk, or the toasted bread. a few extra steps and you're adding a gram.
And we didn't even talk about why protein is so important. It's super important for sustaining fullness, sustaining energy.
That's why we want to start with it, right?
Absolutely. So that is why it's so foundational and important in any meal, particularly in breakfast.
Okay, particularly in breakfast. And it doesn't look like it's that hard to do.
It's kind of a little make-ahead planning.
Yep.
But when you do a bit of batch cooking in some of these
Yep.
things, it takes the weekday crunch off for all of us.
And I love your PB&J. You really did PB&J overnight oats, Andrea. Unbelievable. Is there nothing you can't do? Thanks, Andrea. For more info, check out healthstandnutrition.com. It's going to give you the recipes you need and some tips for adding that protein, especially into that first meal of the day.